Welcome to Crescat's live market call.
Okay, Goliath has finally gotten some of their assays back, and as I understand it, they have had a hang-up with the lab. I was not aware of the hang-up, and just it's a bit annoying that the lab has taken as long as they have, but they're finally starting to get their samples through. Okay, and we got a first taste late last week, I think it was, when they came out with an assay from this hole. What was the number of this hole? It was 249, which is down into the into this bonanza load, which is kind of a flat load that's deeper than the surebet load. Look at the numbers they have here: 226 gram per ton gold equivalent over 1 meter within 45.6 gram, which is an ounce and a half, really, over nearly 6 meters in the bonanza zone. And, I've talked about this before. It's like baklava, right? And if you hit the right layers in this, you get some very high grades. And they found very high grades in this bonanza zone. This bonanza zone, if anything, looks like it is the most robust lode or, vein system in the entire deposit so far, because the numbers that have come out of this are consistently very high. Notice they've highlighted down there in that little table in the lower right that even with that 6 meters of an ounce and a half is within nearly 9 meters of about an ounce per ton, so 30.55 gram. That's beautiful. I mean, imagine 9 meters. That's like your average living room ceiling is about 3 meters off the floor, so you're basically talking about a 3-story house, thick of mineralization. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what we want. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is a plan view showing kind of the quadrangle that they've defined of this bonanza ledge so far. This is a little complicated because think of it like the baklava. We're looking at the baklava from the top, and you got a number of lodes, okay, that are shown in purple, and they're kind of defined in purple, and they're different shapes and different forms. But then this bonanza ledge, which is kind of turning out to be the highlight of this vein system, is so far defined by this yellow panel here. Okay, and the apex of each corner here is defined by a drill hole. All right. And in fact, 249 is the green one over on the right-hand side there. That's where these results came from. But you can see that there's other drill holes that have been announced already within this thing that have yielded very strong numbers. So if you look at the table on the right-hand side, really good assays and nice thicknesses for a number of holes. There's a lot of holes to come, okay, a lot of assays pending. I think we're going to see this thing really emerge, hopefully as a fairly broad, high-grade vein or lode. It's fairly flat lying, okay, but it's looking like it holds together quite well. Much of the VG that they announced seeing in drill holes those intercepts came from this particular area. Now they also had something else, and it's a little bit confusing here, but you're looking at a different style of mineralization also present in this. So we have the bonanza ledge, which is the yellow sheet, okay, and we're looking down on the sheet. But then see these, there's 3 drill holes, 180, 237. Those are in what they call the intrusive dike. There's actually intrusive, they found, that's cross-cutting. It's coming up at us. It's in dikes. And they also had intercepts that went through those intrusive dikes. And lo and behold, they're finding mineralization in that as well. So we're going to talk about both styles of mineralization. Go to the next slide. We're going to look at hole 272. So one of the holes yet to come back is 272, and it is a big step out. In the previous image, it was the northern apex of that yellow polygon. Okay, so basically the company is saying, hold tight. We have some assays coming from this area that could be quite exciting. Anxious to see what they hit. But this is core from that hole, and it shows you it's a long way out. So if we start to see mineralization clear out there, hey man, this could be a big happy days, right? But much more to come. So there's more of our bonanza load. But let's talk about the next thing. Go to the next slide. Now, this image is basically the same image, the same area that we saw in the Bonanza lode footprint. But what we're looking at now is a view of the geology of this SureBet target area. Okay. And the purple lines that you see going through there are intrusive dikes that come up through the ground. And what the company has found is on occasion the drill holes go through those dikes. And when they do, they're seeing gold in the intrusion. Why is that important? Well, it could be that those little dikes are basically intrusives that are coming off of some bigger intrusion down at depth that's driving the whole gold system. Okay, that's a likely scenario. I don't know, but the key is there's gold in those intrusions as well as the more flat lying lodes that we've seen at SureBet and now Bonanza and such. Okay, now the highest grade interval out of this, I gotta put my squizzers on here and read it. 7 meters of 10.41 gram gold. That's impressive, and that's an intercept that comes out of one of the dikes. So one of these drill holes went through his whole 237, went through a dike and hit nice gold. What does it look like? Let's go to the next photograph. Here you can see intrusive dike. It's a nice salt and pepper textured rock, and there's a little quartz stains. What does that look like? It kind of looks like snowlight. I mean, to be frank, that's probably a reduced intrusion, and we're seeing little sheeted veins. Not nearly so many sheeted veins, but there are veins in here. Okay, and they appear to be little, centimeter-ish kind of size things, and they're just chock full of gold. Look at the inset photographs and stuff. There's little bits of gold in those quartz veins. I think this is really intriguing. I don't know what to make of it exactly just yet because, you think about, well, the intrusions, if it's driving the mineralized system, how come the intrusion itself is then subsequently cut by veins that are mineralized? I don't know exactly, but I can tell you this, it's more than happenstance that you have an intrusion here, a reduced intrusion that's got gold in it. And then you also have this vein system, a la SureBet style stuff, basically sitting right on top of each other. It's just one of these unique environments where we might have the driver and the veins that form intertwined. So I think that's really intriguing. Lots more information to come. I'm sure there's lots of assays. I think they have something like 100 drill holes to come back. Okay, so everybody's going to got to get some popcorn and sit back and wait for the next few months as assays come rolling in.
Please refer to our important disclosures pages on the screen now. These can also be found in the description on Crescat's YouTube channel and on our website. Crescat's live market call is about sharing timely, macro, and newsworthy geologic updates, both the positive and the negative news across our holdings as they arise. These videos represent the opinions of Crescat as a mining and exploration industry advocate. Our objective is to share the overall geologic progress of our activist strategy in creating new economic metal deposits in viable mining jurisdictions around the world. The securities discussed herein do not represent an entire portfolio and in the aggregate may only represent a small percentage of a strategy's holdings. The issuers discussed may or may not be held in Crescat's client portfolios at any given time and may not be appropriate for all investors. This video is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as an offer to sell or a solicitation of an offer to buy any security, services of Crescat, or its funds. If you enjoy our videos, please click on the like button and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel.